Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Capitalist Investor. As always, you have me, Diamond Hands D. We got the whole crew together, Tony, the Tiger, and Cool Hand Luke. What's going on, guys?
You almost didn't have the full crew together.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him why?
Touch and go because he's dying.
Well, they almost didn't allow me to come on the podcast because they don't want me to spread the love, my germs to them because I might have COVID or I don't know. Who knows what I got? But I'm not feeling too great.
You came back from New York. That's like the that's ground
camping.
zero
The
when it
petri
comes
dish
to
of
like
America.
sicknesses and stuff.
It's
dude.
also from camping over the weekend because I'm a dummy. And I didn't bring a sleeping bag with me to Kentucky.
You didn't bring a sleeping bag to camping?
No, I had a tent and I had a comforter. I had like a comforter I put on top of me.
Oh my god!
I'm a dummy. I didn't realize the ground gets really cold at night. So the ground sucked all the heat out of me. Mm-hmm. And
You
I think
slept
that
on
got
the
me
ground?
sick. Yeah. Well, in a tent on the ground. Yeah.
Wow.
But the other thing was I had four
I'm
ticks
impressed
as well.
that you're here today.
I had 4 ticks as well that I had to pull off of me. So I hope I don't have Lyme disease either.
Dude.
My body's
Unbelievable.
resilient.
Your body's resilient. My head's blowing up. Like I can't handle this.
You hired me.
I know.
Sleeping bag would probably be like the first 1 or 2 things you would think of that you needed when you go camping.
gotta
Did you
Remember,
bring food? Let's
No,
start
I
there.
realized I
I
bummed
did
off
not do that
everybody
either.
else. I bummed
All
off
right,
everybody
I'm living
else.
off the land. I'm eating
Actually,
berries,
I
coconuts.
water fasted for 30 hours. I broke it after 30. I was going to do 48. I couldn't.
And it broke down after 8 because I was freezing at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Heart palpitations and thought I was dying. Yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of crazy, but besides my life being crazy.
Well, welcome back, dude. All right, what are we talking
have
about?
some crazy things going on in the markets. I think meme stocks are back, right?
They're back.
AMC, GameStop.
Yeah.
And then I think you want to talk a little bit of golf because that's what you guys
Yep,
like.
and we're going to talk golf because
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's what me and Derek do. All right, so, yeah. Luke, this is more your lane, man. Like, what's going on?
I got nothing to do with this, man.
What's
going on is
have you
people
have you talked to Roaring Kitty? What's he telling?
I have him on
What's he telling
speed
us?
dial, man.
Speed
Keith
dial.
Gill. Yeah. What did he say? I'm not a hedge fund. I'm not a institution. I like the stock. But as for me, I like the stock. I mean, that was his line about GameStop when he was getting grilled at the Congress hearing because they thought he was manipulating the stock. He's just I like the stock. I'm sorry that I like the stock and I talked about it and everyone followed my trade. But this time around, here's what's happening, guys. It's this whole concept that everyone, especially us in our world, the financial advisors of the world, when it first started happening, everyone's oh, this isn't going to last. This is going to be a couple, one day, and then it's going to sell off and go back to the price it originally was at. GameStop and AMC rallied, if you remember, for 2 weeks straight, just nonstop up from $4 a share to $150 a share GameStop. And the people that thought it was going to be over just kept on going higher and higher. Shorts keep on getting squeezed higher and higher. So everyone thinks that any kind of momentum gets behind these stocks, it's going to happen again. And everyone wants back in on that trade because they're feeling like they're missing out, and they missed out the first time. They want to make sure they get it the second time.
Yep.
But the problem is, I think I heard a couple of people talk about this, and I feel the same way. People actually are working now compared to when early 2021, when GameStop and AMC originally rallied. People weren't working. There's a lot of people that were laid off, kind of receiving stimulus checks. There was a lot more money in the system. People receiving stimulus checks and had more money in the bank, so they were more willing to take on risks. I think this time around, and as you can see today, and I know this podcast comes out the day after we talk about it, but today they all sold off. They're selling off currently as it stands. So I don't think this has as much momentum behind it as the original time, but there's a lot of FOMO out there.
There's FOMO, but and what are they trying to really accomplish? A stand against the establishment,
Yeah.
Right? I think I saw somebody. They're hey, if it's all a rigged game because Warren Buffett, for example, the SEC allows him to buy a stock in secret. I saw something like that. I need to, and I literally just saw it 5-10 minutes ago. I need to do more research, but I'm if that's true, which it probably has some legs, how is that even possible? Yeah. So now and then with these GameStop things, now you got Barstool Sports that Dave Portnoy, he's wrapped up into this. I don't even know if he likes the Roaring Kitty dude, or if they're working together on this, or are they enemies? I don't know, but I mean, but now you got that dude saying I'm putting $1 million into each of these, and it's like, God, what is going on?
The problem is the higher market cap it goes, the more money is in. Like when GameStop went from, I think it's trading at like $50 a share right now. It was just at like $10 a share 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. And when you go from, I think it was like a $4 billion market cap at $10 to now a $20 billion market cap, there was $16 billion of wealth created for those that owned GameStop in that time frame. Eventually, people are going to take chips off the table. It's natural when there's $16 billion being made. And what's people don't understand is from a stock to go from like a $10 million market cap to a $500 million market cap, that's a lot easier than $20 billion to go to $40 billion, like double. Like a 50xer on a small nano cap is easier to happen than a double on a $20 million stock. So like, I don't know. It's going to take a lot of money, institutional money, to even push it up. And the question you need to ask is, are institutions going to play the long side of the game? Usually institutions are playing the short side.
Yeah.
And then these retail try to blow up the shorts.
Right.
What if the only way this continues to happen and goes higher
has
is
inflation has inflation eroded people's ability to go and buy this stuff?
Absolutely.
Like there is no, money laying around because I'm not doing anything, so I'm stuck in my house.
Or just take out a second mortgage and blow it into the GameStop.
Yeah,
That's
take
people
out that
have done.
home equity line and let it ride. Because my house has doubled in the last 18 months. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like this is. I don't know. It could
might
get
take my
interesting.
chips off the table.
I mean,
in the house.
I don't think institutions would go long in those companies. Have they even? What have they done? Like like the last time those stocks blew up, it should have been their catapult to change their company into something else.
Mm-hmm. There's also one other side to this that you just hit on: change the company into something else. Raise capital. You just hit on like the key point there.
Mm-hmm.
AMC just issued $250 million of stock. So not only are you pumping up the stock price, adding market cap, but now these companies they're not dumb. They're raising capital, issuing more shares, diluting current shareholders to make sure that they rechange their business, because AMC is not profitable. They're losing money hand over fist.
Right.
They need to like reinvent their business.
Actually do something different.
Right.
Literally. Like get into AI or something. Do something like
so
I'm
that's the other thing
out
is,
here.
Just say AI in your quarterly call. That's all you got to do.
A couple times. At least 5
And I'm pretty sure like Adam Aronson, the guy who runs AMC, he like sold majority of his insider stake. I'm pretty sure. Like,
recently?
The first time around.
The first,
So you got to realize all these people that are pumping these stocks up are doing. They just raised $250 million. It's helping fund Adam Aronson's. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know how much he makes. Maybe $40-50 million salary. Like that's what's funding his salary. Is them raising the stock price. All they're doing is making the rich richer within the company.
Right. It has no rhyme or reason. These companies don't do anything. It's just blowing my mind. So when's it cool off? I guess so. I think we're all in the camp that like this is going to be a shorter run than the last time.
Real quick, I think also the telltale sign. I think this is the part of the cycle we're in. What you kind of hit on. I think this is kind of the final hoorah of people trying to make money because they're just hurting for money. I think this could be a sign that there's worse to come actually in the broader market. The more bubblish things become like this.
Yeah, you sent me and Derek like some kind of chart or something, and you're like, this is the top of the bubble or something.
So when you have greed and delusion, everyone just like gets happy and pumped up. That's kind of what happened in 2021 or 2020, especially 2021. We had a cool off year in 22, and then 23 kind of feel like we're back to delusion and greed. Right. And then kind of there's like the denial kind of aspect of it, and then there's a return to normal. And it kind of feels like that since GameStop and AMC are back, it's this kind of like a return to normal that we saw in early 2021 before there's fear and capitulation and things like that again in the more broader market. So who knows? This just feels bubblish to me, the fact that meme stocks can rally.
And just think like, and you had last year you had the Magnificent Seven bubble, right? And now you have this.
Yep.
What else is in store? I mean, it's still an election year, But what else can come? What can else come up from the grave at this point? So we had meme
Don't
stocks.
challenge it, Tony.
Stop asking questions like that.
Dogecoin, probably.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff I'm talking about. All right. Well, I guess we'll see how this plays out, but I'm guessing it's not going to play out well.
No, I think it's important to look at other market parts of the market to see how this actually is psychologically playing into other parts.
Yeah. All right. And now the one thing we want to do is just hit on our golf picks.
Absolutely.
It's the
Another major.
PGA Championship at Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah.
Valhalla, yeah. All right.
In Louisville.
You played there.
I've played there before,
Yeah. How is
Thanks
that
to
course?
my friend Joe. Shout out.
Joe
Yee, yep.
Oh, my man.
Yep.
Panda.
Enterprise. Yep.
The Panda. That's
So,
his nickname.
It's so it looks to be a standard PGA Championship type course.
You played it.
Yep.
How is the course?
So the course I play is much different than they're playing right now.
Obviously, yeah. Like it's 3 inches more grass and.
But yeah,
faster greens.
honestly, it sets up well for my game, which is kind of long and erratic. So,
I hit it really far. Where'd it go? I don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know where it's going right now.
There's a really cool hole, number 13, that's like, over water. Is kind of an island green with a waterfall. I put 2 balls in the water there.
Nice.
So, but I did birdie 17. I think, we were talking about that.
All right. So the course is obviously going to set up difficult. They're going to leave the rough probably where you can't even ankle high.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get upset when it's like, just a couple inches here in Cleveland. I can't imagine hitting out of something that's like you can't even see your ball when you swing.
Yep.
The greens are going to be difficult, and they dial this up so that like something in the, low single digits, maybe even is a good score.
Yep. So, I think they've been talking about there's not a whole lot of different ways to play the course. So, it's going to be kind of a shot-making competition. But, yeah, it's probably a little bit more forgiving than like a U.S. Open course where they try to make it impossible, essentially. So wider landing areas. But, essentially, I think just what the pundits are kind of saying, there's really kind of only the top 35 really have a chance. You got to be a big hitter. You got to make the putts, basically. Yeah. So like someone like Rory, his game, just bombing it off the tee and having, sand wedges in. Guys like that's going to be who's going to have a chance.
Roy's plus 750. So
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he won last week, and it's just difficult to win 2 weeks in a row.
And he Rory, he just filed for divorce. I don't know if you saw that.
Really?
Yeah. So kind of came out of nowhere.
Huh.
But he had a very public relationship with Caroline Wozniacki back in 2014. Do you know where the PGA was in 2014? Valhalla. And do you know who won? Rory McIlroy.
Wow.
So last time he had a breakup, he won.
Connecting the dots, huh? Is he dating her again? Like, here's
Oh no.
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 Okay.
No.
All right, just
They
curious.
broke up in
Oh,
14.
no.
But his, soon-to-be ex-wife looks exactly like Caroline Wozniacki. It was
So I
kind of
think
weird.
it's interesting. I've been incorporating this more in my life, in a lot of aspects of my life, and it's been working out pretty well. It's the belief, not Elon Musk preaches this. It's the belief that the most ironic situation, the most ironic outcome is the most likely outcome, right? So what you just alluded to is the most ironic outcome, putting 2014 to that, and then, relating that to the current environment, that could be the most likely outcome.
Yep.
All right. So who's your pick?
Tiger Woods.
I don't even know he's. All right.
I'm
so
joking.
I know. and
Actually,
I'm-
it's John. It's John Ram. John
That's-
Ram.
Close. Ram. Sure.
Yep.
John Ram.
It's
That's
Ram
okay.
to
I
me.
mispronounce names all the time.
So John Rahm, that's a good pick.
That's a good
John
pick.
Rahm, Yep.
He probably coming under the radar a little bit because he did not do well at the Masters.
No.
And he's a live guy. So
Coming in plus 1,600.
do you have a dark horse? Do you have anyone else that might be on your radar?
Mawakaki, which one is that? Morikaki?
Morikawa. I was actually looking at him. That's a pretty good pick too.
Colin hits the ball straight. Like
Yep.
he's one of the few that doesn't necessarily shape the ball. And I'm thinking, just keeping it in the wickets, in the fairway.
Wickets, it's a cricket term, isn't it? Wicket.
It is.
It might be. All right. Well, but if he can keep it straight and in the fairway, then that's a bonus, right? So, who do you got, D?
So I'm going all live.
Oh,
So I'm going to go Bryson and Brooks as my favorite. I think Bryson has a real chance. I really do. And I'm going for my long shot. I'm going Dustin Johnson because, I don't really know much about odds. I don't really follow the PGA. But he is basically 45-1 to win the tournament. And he's, should still be considered in his prime, and he's one of the best players of the generation. So I'd take a flyer on DJ, even though he seems to be pretty fat and happy these days.
Yeah. I like, Brooks Koepka has a history of doing well in this particular type of tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And he won, I believe, last week or in the last week or two on the Live.
Yep.
So he's firing right now. And that's my pick. I'm going to go with Brooks Koepka, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was funny. I was just kind of like looking at the tee sheet. You got that Michael Block, the guy that made, had a great round for the last year's one of the majors. Tour a pro at a local golf course. Made noise for himself. He's playing this week. I thought it was. I would not put $1 on him, but. But for the dark horses, like some of the people that just kind of stick out is Henley, Bang An. Yeah, I like him. Like he's just a very consistent player right now. Gary Woodland, very under the radar because he does well in these type of low scoring type of tournaments. And then Patrick Reed, there's another live guy. Out of those four, if I was going to put some money on somebody, it might be Woodland. Just a complete dark horse. Like, he's probably got fantastic odds of I don't even look, but probably over 50-1 at least.
I'm on my FanDuel account as we speak.
Okay, but and I'm sure our engineer Chris is on his FanDuel. He's got some bets in already. All right, good. All right, guys, take us home, D.
All right. Well, thanks for listening this week. If you guys have any questions, comments, show ideas, hit us up at info@swpconnect.com, and we'll talk to you next week.
The opinions expressed in the podcast are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any investment, legal, financial, or tax strategy. It is only intended to provide education about the financial industry. Please consult a qualified professional about your individual needs.